Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
This is Geek News Radio. Broadcast 38 for Saturday, May 13th, 2017. Space Prole Revolution.
This is Geek News Radio, episode 38. I'm Fab in Isenhagen.
I'm Dave in Birmingham.
I'm Yui in Stockport.
Yay! Finally, we get to meet you. And we didn't mess the intro up, even though we didn't plan the who's going first and whatever.
We just rolled with it. It's good.
It's awesome. So let's start with the traditional. What are you drinking? I am finishing the Smokehead whiskey I got from Stavrina. She finally fessed up to it.
Oh, nice.
And I'm
That was a beautiful sound, by the way.
Yeah, that's integral part of the show. So that's what I'm drinking.
And I have an old-fashioned made with rye whiskey because that's apparently what you're supposed to use, and it's delicious. So good.
Have you perfected that now, then?
Yeah, there's like key things I found you got to do. You've got to use rye whiskey. Check. You've got to not bother making your own sugar syrup because that is just a world of pain. If you buy it, it's just easier, and it doesn't go cloudy. And then just like not too much bitters because otherwise it's like just gross. So yeah, I'm pretty on point with those now.
And I'm drinking just a South African white wine.
Oh, that's cultured, civilized.
Yes.
Classy.
It's co-op branded, I think, though. So.
Wow. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, you know. Sometimes they have good stuff. Sometimes they select really good wines.
It's pretty good. It's all right.
You are sorry?
I was going to say, I'm going to argue that like supermarket own brand wines are the best wines because they're the ones that most taste like grape juice.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, maybe. You are in Stockport now, you said.
Yes, I'm back in Stockport.
You used to live in Canada for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived in Canada for nearly 2 years in Winnipeg. It was wonderful and I miss it a lot. But I'm also happy to be back in the UK.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm wearing my Penguins jersey because conference final. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, so they made it to the final?
Yes, game 7. Sid once again kicked Ovechkin out.
Of course.
So I'm really happy. I'm actually very jealous of Katie, my wife, who is currently in Chicago and can watch the games on TV, but isn't bothering to.
Yeah, in Canada it was just all day, every day, just hockey, all the time. It was amazing.
As it should be.
Yeah. Who are they playing against?
Well, they did just win against the Capitals, and now the conference finals is against the Senators.
Yes. Okay, that's good.
That will actually be interesting.
Go Sens!
That's an interesting matchup for a conference final. Not sure I've seen that before, but yeah, I actually kind of like the Senators. They're pretty cool.
Did the Oilers get knocked out?
Oh God! Now you're asking me questions. I have to look this up. I don't know. I was very preoccupied by the Pens games. I've been having a lot of I've been a lot of stress at work and not much time to follow it. But I'm researching this as we speak on the NHL page, which isn't loading. Well, this isn't helpful. The Oilers, yes, they got kicked out by the Ducks. Huh. Interesting. So it's the Panthers and the Ducks in the Western Conference final, and the Senators and the Penguins in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, wow.
So the Senators kicked out the Rangers. I knew that. But interesting. Well, the Ducks.
Ugh.
They also, Dave will be interesting. Dave will probably be rooting for them because they kicked out the Flames in the first round.
Yeah, they kicked out the Jets a few years ago as well, so I kind of hate the Ducks.
We'll stop them. We'll stop them in the final. No worries. Yes, so we should probably mention this show will be a lot of talk about. We've got some stuff that harkens back to the older episodes, but there will be a lot of talk about Eve, I guess.
What's Eve? Who? I don't understand. What?
Apparently, besides Elite Dangerous, there is another space game.
Eve, who is she?
Don't even know her.
And Huey is playing that a lot as well, I think.
Yes, just a little bit.
Just-
Playing. I don't know if that's the right description for it.
Well, yeah, it's your second job, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So maybe you should explain how you two met.
Oh.
Was it in Eve?
No.
No.
Can you talk about it? Oh, I should have cleared that before.
No, it's classified. We're secret spies.
Well, one never knows.
Fab, how do I know most people?
I don't know. You either meet them on the internet, in the internet spaceships, or you bump into them at conferences.
Close. Yeah, it's Twitter, as literally.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, all the peeps. I think Huey retweeted like a job thing at once. I was like, this is a cool person who tweets things about jobs in Python. And then that was like 2 years ago.
Huh. And now you're like you were meeting up last night, weren't you? You were going to a wrestling thing, I think.
Yeah,
right,
we went to see my first like wrestling thing ever.
Yay!
It was WWE Live in Birmingham.
Oh, cool.
It was really good. We're preempting a question from the Facebooks. It was good. Like, I have no frame of reference for what good wrestling is, because apparently I started watching wrestling when wrestling's not great. But I mean, it's fun. There were big things. They're like big things, big people, big just giant men throwing each other around. It's pretty good. And then
Well-oiled men.
very oiled. And Sami Zayn was there, so like, my favorite one. Tick.
Flat cap.
His flat cap in Birmingham, wearing a flat cap wrestling.
Wow.
Legit.
Awesome.
And then there was the English guy, the pale English guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh
but
yeah. I've seen him. Yeah.
He's got
Aiden English.
Yeah, that's his name. It's literally English man. And he's the weirdest shaped man ever. Like, he's got muscles that I didn't think existed. Like, he's so skinny but so buff. It's like you took a tiny man and just injected him with like cattle hormones and steroids.
He also didn't have an entrance theme like normal wrestlers do. They have like a big entrance theme and like a video. He just came out with a microphone singing like a rendition of how he's the greatest wrestler that ever lived.
Oh, yeah, and that he's really cultured.
Yes.
Like,
What's that guy's name again? Timothy English?
Aiden English.
Oh, Aiden. I'll have to look it up. That sounds great. I've never, I've watched wrestling for a long time. I can remember when it was called WWF back in the day. Yeah. And I've never seen it like live. But I kind of want to now too. Now that like if former, Tim Wiese, the former German national goalkeeper, football goalkeeper, is like doing WWE.
What?
Yeah. We talked about him on the show. He had a reputation for being like, first he was like muscle training, which is very unusual for a goalkeeper. He once drop kicked a player in the face. I believe there's a picture in the show notes of an older episode.
I I don't remember talking about this. How drunk?
Oh, I'll look. Let me just go to the Google. I'll send you a link. I'll put one link in the show notes. Tim.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah. I put a link in the show notes. So he then at some point he used to be like a national on the national team, and at some point he just went and he went training at that performance center, you know, and he is now called Tim the Machine Wiese, and that's
a hell of a good name, like.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I can't find the bloody episode for some reason. What the hell?
Did we talk about it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, we did. It's like in the.
You can't find it. The secret episode.
I can find it. Like if I Google it, right? It's in the bloody RSS feed. On the Google thing, but I can't find it when I search in the actual feed. So maybe we didn't talk about it, and I'm going insane.
Potentially.
Or maybe
highly probable.
Anyway, you'll just keep telling us how it was. I'll try to find this.
Yeah, so we went out for food beforehand. We took Stavrina along with her boyfriend, and it was good. We kind of arrived a little bit late. The first match was already happening by the time we sat down. We saw the end of that. It was what's his face and the other guy. I'm the worst at wrestler names. Like
it was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yes, and
they had quite good energy. I felt like it wasn't bad.
I like Nakamura. He's legit.
I got it.
He is fantastic.
This was Geek News episode 27, and there you can see a picture of Tim Wiese playing for, I think this was Werder Bremen, when he just drop-kicked the guy in the face.
Oh, yes.
You can see.
He's got some height. Yep.
Natural talent there.
Oh, shit.
I can see why he's a good wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, Oliver Kahn did this once as well, but his hit was like a bit lower. This is like full on in the face, like with the spikes, with the shoe spikes.
Like, damn, that's bonkers. So yeah, wrestling. But yeah, like I think you got me back into Eve almost exactly a year ago.
It's her fault.
Yes.
It's her fault. I can't convert you to Elite.
Yeah, so I think I tweeted that like, oh, I've resubscribed to World of Warcraft. Shit, what's my life coming to? And you were like, oh, come play Eve with my friends. I'm like, okay. I didn't really have anyone to play World of Warcraft with other than Rob. But then it's like, okay, loads of people to play Eve with. So, and then the rest is history. And I've been with Cog since.
And a year later, you were off traveling to Iceland with us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, okay.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing we're going to talk about on the show. I just wanted some other stuff I want to mention before. First of all, I've ranted and raved on the show about Taboo with Tom Hardy, and I know we have some German listeners, so it's now available in Germany on Amazon Prime. So go watch it if you haven't already. It's great. And then, oh my God, the Dark Tower movie.
I know, right?
Seen the trailer?
So fucking good.
God, that is awesome.
So excited for that.
I mean, Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba are two of my favorite actors right now. They're both amazing. And I always had this problem with McConaughey that he was for years he was just like being in rom-coms and shit.
Yeah, he's this kind of kooky, attractive guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I can understand why he does rom-coms, but like for me, somebody who is not into that, I was like, oh my God, he's so fucking wasted on that. And now he's like the Man in Black in the Dark Tower, which is amazing. They dyed his hair and he looks creepy, and it's so good. I have question. So is it going to be like the entire series? Okay.
So, okay. I know it's like there's the whole cyclical time thing. So, like, this is the next cycle, so it's not going to be exactly
major
like the book.
Spoilers. Yeah, but we talked about that before, yeah.
Yeah. But is it kind of, if it's cyclical, like the same kind of shit's going to happen again? But is it going to be like the entire series compressed into one film?
Has either of you read the books?
I've read the first book.
I have not, and I've always wanted to, but I never got around to it. So
Yeah, I'm rereading them right now. So basically, if I understand this, and there's not that much information out there, this film is the whole 7 books.
Bloody hell, mate.
Which is
Bloody
damn
hell.
crazy, because I took a picture recently with all the books, and they're like, I don't know, half a meter high when you just stack them, paperbacks.
Game of
So
Thrones should take a leaf out of that book.
yeah, kinda. So what they did for the movie apparently is like completely cut it. Like as far as I can see, they cut 2 of the major characters out. So if you first read the first book, you know Jake.
Yes.
Who's the kid in the trailer. But in the second book, there are 2 other major like characters, Eddie and Susanna. Who's Susanna? God,
Is Eddie the guy on the plane in the beginning of the second
yeah,
book?
he's smuggling drugs,
Cool.
I think.
Yes, okay, I got that far. I read like the opening chapter of like, what the fuck, this is different, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, it's the drawing of the 3, right? So he gets, like, Jake comes back. Jake actually dies before. Spoilers. So the other, so he kind of gets Eddie and, yeah, is her name Susanna? Yeah, Susanna, yeah. Who's the other major character, and I think they completely cut them out, and they must cut a whole lot of story out. Interestingly, Susan Delgado is in the film. Apparently, she's credited on IMDb. Who, like, that's my favorite book. In book 4, there's basically in book 4 there's most of the book is like they're sitting around a campfire and wait. Mm-hmm. And Roland tells them the story of how him and his 2 mates, Cuthbert and Elaine, back when they were really young, were sent to this town, and like all this shit happens. And Roland's first love, Susanna, gets killed. And so that must be in there somehow. I really, really like this idea. There's been a huge controversy about this. Like, fans are like, oh, no, they should film it exactly like it's in the book. It should be an HBO series. It should be like 8 seasons long. And I'm like, fuck this, because whenever they try that with a book, it turns to shit.
See, I didn't know that Dark Tower had this. I mean, I know it had a following, but I didn't realize it was like this deep. You know?
Well, the thing is, it has it. As far as Stephen King's books goes, he himself says this is maybe his most important work. But it has the least fans, I think. Like, I think his most the book with the most fans is probably The Stand. And then lots of people know his horror stuff, but lots of people don't know The Dark Tower. But the Dark Tower fans are fucking crazy. Like,
Right.
They're the guys getting like the Crimson King logo tattooed and shit like that. I mean, those are the his most rabid fans. And the interesting thing about this is the Dark Tower. If you haven't read it, so what it does is basically pulls all his other works together. So the Man in Black, Walter O'Dim from the books, also known as Randall Flagg, who's the evil guy from The Stand. Mm-hmm. And there's all this stuff. I mean, Stephen King himself is in the book as a character later on in the books. And so it pulls all this stuff together. And I have a book, it's called The Dark Tower Concordance, which Stephen King is an assistant, and she helped him with writing all the books. And she wrote an encyclopedia about the Dark Tower world.
Oh, it kind of like walks you through.
Yeah,
to explain
everything, because this world has like 2 different languages, low speech and high speech. It has like forgotten cultures. It's got like its own games, lots of its own terms.
Basically, Stephen King's head is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's basic. Yeah, it is. It's very much. I mean, the Gunslinger is the first book he ever wrote, really, like the first like real book he ever wrote.
Yeah, because I remember when I was reading it, you were like, bear with it, he gets better, because it's the first book he wrote. And there's like, I think my version has like the preface where he's like, "Oh my god, I was so bad."
Well, but the thing is, I'm reading it again, right? And this is the revised version, but I'm reading it again now, and I'm surprised. I remember it was worse. I'm surprised how really good it is, because it must be because not to dig them, but I've been reading a lot of like Warhammer fiction and stuff, and
Isn't necessarily the highest quality literature.
Yeah, and even compared with stuff like The Expanse, which is great, and they're great authors. Stephen King is just an amazing writer. He just writes like I read really slowly normally, but I just read that because it's like really. He's
very lyrical with how he writes, actually.
Yeah, but not in a way that it's like cumbersome. You know what I mean? And like compared to George R. R. Martin, oh my god, he's so much better. I'm sorry if you like Game of Thrones, but
You just triggered a whole load of people.
I actually, I probably did. Actually, like the first Game of Thrones book, I bounced off that. That is probably the only book I will not finish in my life. I'm normally completely OCD about books, and when I start them, Katie laughs at me because I do this. When I start them, I have to finish them, no matter how bad they are. And like the first Game of Thrones book, I was just like, I don't even need to finish this. Just like completely new for me. But like, so I really like this, and I like this movie. It looks fucking amazing. I mean, the thing with the guns.
Yes.
There's like several scenes in the trailer. There's like I gift them because they're so great. There's like one where he basically spins the cylinder of his revolver, and then he just like throws the bullets in. He just
it's like if they remade Equilibrium but with a budget.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Yeah, it's like this
Which
guy.
is actually probably like maybe the best film idea I've ever heard.
Well, the thing with the gunslinger is like they described this even in the first book. I mean, he's kind of like he has these skills, right? It's not magic; it's just training. Like he's really, really good with guns, and with like little tricks. Like at one point, he like hypnotizes a guy just by like walking a shell across his knuckles, and stuff like that. And then there's this other scene where he has these moon clips, right, on his belt in the movie. And he just like throws like this moon clip in the air and then like loads it into the gun while it falls back down and then immediately like fires. It's just it's so good.
It's kind of reminded me of that Wanted movie. I think that was a graphic novel.
Yeah, except does he bend bullets? Like
No, like he doesn't do anything that's against the laws of physics. It's just slightly unbelievable. Like all the stuff he does is like stuff you could actually do if you like. Well, if you're like really born with the best reflexes in the world and like trained all your life to do nothing else, you might do it. Well, there's one scene where he like shoots this guy across a kilometer without looking. That's a bit, but
There's probably someone in the world that sort of like read this book and then decided I'm going to get really good with like loading bullets into my gun and like doing tricks with it.
Oh yeah, there are in Texas. There's like competitions for this shit.
Gunslingers, proper gunslingers.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen this. I've done some like shooting with some people, and I got some training from a guy who works for the SEK. That's the German Special Forces, like police. They're like armed response. And this guy, the speed he will like for some of these shooting competitions, right? You have your gun and you start with it loaded, but without a bullet in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And he can draw his Glock and then like pull it up, rack the slide while he's actually moving into the right shooting position. Then like when he lets go of the slide, actually aim and then immediately shoot. And when you see that in one motion, you haven't even like, he's shot before you realized he went for his gun. And I was like, never mess with the SEK. So you can actually do stuff like that. Like if you look on YouTube, there's guys who actually there's like fast draw competitions in
oh no.
in Texas and shit. They do stuff like that. They're really good.
That sounds like a rabbit hole waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's just gun geekery. But yeah, so this looks really
Rabbit
good.
holes, fab. This is the thing you like. You like flight simulators. We've been getting into this guy on YouTube who just trolls people in Flight Simulator X. And it is hilarious. So he just like has a ridiculous voice and is just a funny person.
Does he like just air traffic control or something?
So he's done some air traffic control stuff.
Yeah, he's an actual pilot too in real life. I found his videos where he's actually flying the plane, and he is contacting air traffic control in real life. He's doing it super serious. I'm like, wow, this guy is legit.
He's also like, what was it? His call sign was like Harambe or something, wasn't it? It was like Harambe 1. Like, this is Harambe 1. Like, requesting permission to take off.
So what's he do in the flight simulator stuff?
He sort of like fucks with people. So my favorite one is like he's flying around in an F-18, and there's some other F-18s. But then he sees someone who's flying around in a F-19 concept stealth plane, and he's like, "That's a shit plane. Don't fly that." So proceeds to like intercept them and like gets everyone else on the server to also get into F-18s, apart from the person who's in Air Force One. And then the person in Air Force One is like, I'm going to escort the F-18s to find the other. It's really weird. And then there's like, and then the Air Force One crashes, and then there's the Trump plane. Oh, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, I want to put a link in the show notes. I'm going to watch this after the show.
He is brilliant. It's so funny.
That sounds great. Well, before we move on, I need to get this thing in, because once in my life I met a famous person, and it also had something to do with the plane. I once met Matthew McConaughey and talked to him for about 20 minutes.
How did that go? What did you talk to him about?
Which was great. So basically,
I was really awkward.
I wasn't. No, actually, I wasn't, because I was in Australia, right? And so this was like when Katie and me was doing work and travel, and we were living in Early Beach, and Katie was working, and I had some jobs that was like pizza delivery driver, whatever, fixed Wi-Fi and shit. And then I couldn't find a job anymore. It was just like a month and a half left, and I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna be a beach bum, right? And I bought some.
This is when you had dreads as well, isn't it?
No, this was before the dreads.
Damn it.
In Australia, I was growing my hair for the dreads, so I looked like fucking hippie. I bought some fishing stuff and just sat in Early Beach. There's like a little, like off the marina, there's like a thing like where people who don't have boats in the marina, just like, it's like a jetty where they put their boats in the water. So I was fishing there for weeks, and at some point there's like these guys, this handyman who arrived and they started building shit, and you could like hear that they were American, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I kept watching it like day after day, and they were building a like water plane. So one day I just walk over and I'm like, guys, why are you building a bloody plane? They were like, oh, you sound like you're from Germany. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we are from this film crew, and it's like they're filming this movie out on the with Sunday Islands with like Matthew McConaughey and Donald Sutherland.
Oh, yeah.
A movie's called Fool's Gold, by the way. So they were filming that. And then I kept watching them. And at one day, I was like, I was fishing. They were nearly ready with like the plane. And like this guy comes along. So I'm like, fuck, I think that's Matthew McConaughey. So he was talking to like the crew, because I think he was being nice. And then I see one of the guys like pointing over to me, and he comes over. And I'm like, I normally would have shit myself, but I was like so relaxed, because I was been fishing for like weeks in the sun. I'm sitting there with my like cowboy hat fishing, no shirt on. The guy comes over, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, they tell me you're German. I'm like, yeah. So we were just talking about shit.
This is Matthew McConaughey. You can't be stressed when Matthew McConaughey is
apparently
there.
that was the other thing. And he was so nice. He's just like a really nice guy.
He seems so nice.
And his accent is unbelievable, which he often doesn't, like, he hides that in movies. In this one as well. Like,
he has a quite southern drawl.
Yeah, this is great. He sounds like a bloody cowboy. It was amazing. It was really cool.
Lovely.
He liked my hat, and he tried on the hat. That was really cool. Sadly, this was like before smartphones.
Yeah, so you couldn't like tweet it, couldn't get selfies.
No.
Like, did it even happen? Like, basically,
No, I just have my memory, but that was cool. So, and then He seems to still be really cool. And they're doing this thing like on Twitter now. He and Idris Elba are like having Twitter battles.
Yeah, because he did the tweet Idris being like, "You want the tower," which like is just filth. Like in my mind, I was like, "You what? Is that what you call your penis, Matthew? Do you want the tower?"
It is kind of the penis. It's the penis of the universe, basically.
Nice.
The penis of the universe.
The Dark Tower. Like if you read the Dark. Okay, so for people who haven't read this,
spoilers.
Major spoilers, but yes, it's old book series. Read the fucking books, people. So there are other worlds than these. Which is, I think, the subtitle of the movie. And so there's our world, and then there's the world Roland comes from. And the Dark Tower is actually part of the world Roland comes from, and it holds together all the other worlds. So what the Man in Black wants to do, he is kind of the servant of the Crimson King, and what he wants to do, and the Crimson King, who is kind of the devil, wants to do is like topple the tower. And he wants to get to the Dark Tower to destroy it, and Roland wants to get to the Dark Tower to rescue it.
Not destroy it.
Yep. And so we talked before how he finds it in the end and walks through, and then basically the first book begins again. So now in this iteration, I guess Roland doesn't look like young Clint Eastwood anymore. He now looks like Idris Elba, which I think is great.
Legit.
Anyway, so let's move on a bit. We also talked about BioWare. And according to Kotaku, they scaled like BioWare Montreal massively down.
Because like I was seeing on Twitter today, people being like, "Oh man, what am I going to do now that like Mass Effect's on hiatus?" And I completely missed it. So basically, it didn't make enough money.
Really?
Right? Is that what's happening?
Well, that's one. Apparently, it didn't sell really well, which you could immediately tell by them. Like a week after it was out, they were putting it on sale on Origin, which EA never does. Like,
yeah, true. Origin sales are very rare.
Maybe 2 years later. But yeah, so apparently it didn't sell that well. We talked about it, got a lot of flack. Well, I don't know so much about the putting it on hiatus, but it looks like they basically shuttered the team because they also saw that the game apparently it didn't work. Like if you read this, something we didn't talk about because this came out later. Apparently, the production was had lots of trouble, so they shifted the focus in the middle of it, which sounds like typical when a video game goes shit. It's because of stuff like that. And now apparently they sent some developers to the Edmonton studio, which is the main BioWare studio, and the Montreal studio will from now on just do support for other titles. I'm guessing the whole putting BioWare on hiatus is probably because the Edmonton studio is apparently busy with they have an unannounced IP.
Ooh, new IP.
Well, apparently they have 2 new IPs, and at least one of them will be announced at E3.
Oh, that's soon, isn't it?
Yep. And so the Edmonton team's working on that. So they can't, I guess they can't say, well, you do the next BioWare as well. BioWare, the next Mass Effect, sorry. So they, I guess they need to sort that out. So I don't know if I don't think, if you read the statement from EA, it doesn't sound like they're giving up on Mass Effect. It's still a huge franchise. I'm guessing maybe they want to have a bit of time, take it a year longer or something for the next game so people forget.
They've probably got a smaller team working on, I don't know if there's DLC for this Mass Effect, but I imagine they've probably just got a really scaled back team.
Yeah, the scaled back Montreal team will also work on that, supporting it. I don't think there will be much DLC though. It doesn't sound like it. But they will continue to do patches.
I've never been a fan of the Mass Effect DLC stuff. It's always and I know people like Chris Thurston are like, oh my god, Mass Effect 3 DLC is the best bits of Mass Effect.
But you can give him a key ring with an N7 logo and he's happy.
Yeah, but then
Chris.
Well, I'm just do I have to a lot of Mass Effect 2 DLC was piss. So 3 I didn't really bother with, and I probably won't pick up any DLC for this because it's sort of done. unless it's suddenly going to be like cool plot things.
that is weird because I think the Dragon Age DLC has been really great.
Have you played it?
The Dragon Age DLC,
Yeah.
all of it. I've played all of Dragon Age there is. You know me, I'm a massive Dragon Age fanboy. Yeah, I really liked it. Well, it's kind of the same with Dragon Age 2, which wasn't really liked, and for that reason didn't get like a lot of DLC.
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things that did really well in the first one, and then kind of teetered off on the second one, just like Mass Effect. At least in my opinion, I preferred Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I'm of the rare people who really likes Dragon Age 2. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm rare. I know.
Mass Effect 2 is the best Mass Effect.
Is it?
Yeah, it's totally the best.
All right.
It's like just so good. It's so good. Like, it is.
I'm just a douchebag that really liked Mass Effect 1, and I didn't like any of
No,
the
you've
others.
got it wrong. Dave's the douchebag. Dave's wrong.
Objectively wrong.
Most of the time, yes.
See, this is the theme. Someone comes on the podcast and then they start saying bad things about me. I get it. I get it.
You can take it. You're a big guy.
I do love it. I secretly live to be abused. It's fine. That's why I like bad things. I want people to tell me I'm shit.
Revelations on the show. Yeah, so it looks like they're doing... I'm sorry because I said this is exactly what BioWare should do. Close the team and fire all those animation artists.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm sure we'll see Mass Effect back again. They'll maybe make walking look human.
Yeah, and maybe like I think they need to reboot the whole look. Like,
really? No, the aesthetic's so good.
yeah, except for the fucking faces. That's what I mean. Like the look of the faces.
That's a tech thing. So long as I keep the shiny kind of like
What the fuck happened to this Google Doc? Sorry.
phallic spaceships, like the big penises in space. Like, as long as we keep those.
Yeah, they can keep the spaceships. That's okay.
Okay, you just want like new thing. What if you all wear helmets, Fab? What if they all just wear helmets?
I don't want helmets. I want people to look like they do in Dragon Age Inquisition. If this is a game about me fantasizing to bang all those companions, right? I want them to look good. Like you know, I really, really, really hate VR. But one of the reasons you could get me to buy a VR headset, if
Mass Effect sex simulator.
Well, if they make a Dragon Age sex simulator and like they have Sarah. I mean,
we need to get onto BioWare about this, like immediately.
It's like, guys, there are perverts on the internet, and they're like,
A
oh
really
my god.
good idea.
I'm not a pervert. It's that bad. I mean, come on. I was like I had a work training in the beginning of the week. We did we did a course for like TV presenting, and you had to like spec your own show and everything and interview people. And I was there with a colleague of mine who is Keno, who is our, like, if you've seen CT Uplink, he's our VR fanboy hipster dude, who's great.
Looks like we get on.
And yeah, I interviewed him about VR sex in my show.
Nice.
Oh, I'm banging the mic.
Are you drunk already?
I don't know. I've been drinking whiskey, so yeah, maybe I've had a very stressful day today. I was covering like the Microsoft Build conference.
What massive revelations were on that, Fab?
Well, your CTO was or CEO was on stage. Yeah. Actually, I really like the look of like the new fall update they bring out for Windows 10. They have like new UI. Looks really good.
Oh no!
This is like good UI from Microsoft.
Why are they changing my perfect Windows 10, Fab?
And they're like. I swear to you, I fucking swear to you, the hell's freezing over because like they're going all in, like Ubuntu in the Windows Store. They're gonna get Fedora, SUSE on Windows.
So yeah, I honestly think, like, write it in the book that we sometimes maybe mention. Write it in the book.
No, that's now the Grudge book. Sorry, can't do
whatever.
that.
Write it somewhere. The Microsoft are gonna buy Canonical.
Yeah, probably. I now do believe that. Now
I'll put it. Within 12 months.
I'm completely with you. They're completely I mean, there's Xamarin, you know, how they bought Xamarin, and it's everywhere now. They now have like this they use like that design language for everything.
Yeah, like
they're now doing. They now have iTunes in the Windows Store.
Really?
Was the stab saying that
Yeah.
you can get the Linux terminal Windows
yeah.
stuff?
Well, it's
Yes,
actually
that was announced last build.
yeah, but it's actually it's not Bash. It's like it's the subsystem. It's like the whole Linux kernel.
Yeah,
and Ubuntu userland.
They rewrote all the system calls,
and it's like
so you don't have to recompile them. You can just like basically run native Linux binaries on Windows.
Well, anything
which
that's
is pretty
not
sick.
GUI.
But there's still some issues with like files. I've found you can still screw files up because like all the kind of Unixy tools assume like you have like ext4 file systems or whatever. So it'll try to like write that metadata, and like if you're on NTFS, like it doesn't have parity. So sometimes it might expect some metadata that's just not there. So you can kind of royally screw some files up and like make them just impossible to open, as I have discovered. So yeah, there's that. Which is pretty.
But they do like you can now develop like iOS apps with Visual Studio.
Yeah, we do that at work.
They are.
So long. The only annoying thing with that though is you need to have a Mac still.
Not
compile.
anymore. They just announced that it's native now. You can just do it on Windows. It's like
Sweet.
It's like bloody. They're like opening up. It's like really good. It's actually amazing to see. So that was actually interesting.
Microsoft are the good guys.
But yeah, so that's why I'm drinking, because I had to transcribe all that shit today.
That was like a 3-hour presentation, wasn't it?
Yeah, today and yesterday, and I had to I live covered both.
Yeah, no, I watched a little bit of it. I watched the bit with the Autodesk CEO, and I'd forgotten he was our CEO because our other CEO only like recently stood down. So I was like, oh, it's not that guy. What? There's been a reshuffle? Who didn't tell me? I'm probably just missed the email.
You missed the memo.
Yeah.
And I just wanted another update quickly before we go on to your stuff and I stop talking. I've finished Fall of Cadia now.
So what do you think?
Yeah, Cadia falls.
It does. It does indeed fall. Cadia's gone. It's dead.
It's interesting, like the whole thing with the pylons. And how they nearly close like the Eye of Terror, and then it just goes to the opposite, and that's where the big warp storms coming from.
So that's the most recent bit, isn't it?
Well, there are 3 books. It's the end of the first book.
Oh, is it? I thought there was like Gathering Storm, then Fall of Terror.
There's Gathering Storms, the series. Fall of Cadia, then something Fracture of Bealtan, and then there's the third one. So basically, it looks like in this, like there's Belisarius' call is like hauling like an artifact away from Cadia, and they get rescued by the Eldar. And I think this artifact is like the whatever he's been doing with Girly Man.
To fix the Emperor.
It might even actually be Girly Man, like in stasis or whatever. I don't know.
Probably.
Just,
actually, I think it is.
Just looking it up because I wasn't sure what you were talking about.
Warhammer!
Warhammer! And the man on the front looks very cool with his big claw and his big sword. It's very nice.
Or Belisarius' call, yeah.
Yeah.
He is an interesting character. I really like the Inquisitor they introduced, Katharina Greyfax. Her whole thing is that she thinks that Celestine, who is like the saint from the Sisters of Battle, is like as a heretic. And then like Celestine saves her.
That makes her a heretic for thinking that.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Then she saves her.
I'm pretty sure it does. I think if you say that like one of the saints of the imperial religion is a heretic, that makes you a heretic.
Well, the thing with the Imperial Creed is like there's so many like fractions, and they're all like not sure who's the saint. So because the Emperor hasn't said she's a saint.
Emperor hasn't said a lot, Fab.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Emperor hasn't said a lot for a very long time.
Emperor really needs a text-to-speech device.
He does, yeah.
Then he'll get really pissed about the new Space Marines that Girly Man's doing.
No, it's so good.
Anyway, you had a GW thing as well.
Speaking of new Space Marines, Fab, I've bought some Space Marines.
No, what?
So last on Saturday, the Shadow War Armageddon rulebook came out. So that's
this is the new Necromunda thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the
basically?
Necromunda Mordenheim thing for like skirmish battle in the Dark Millennium. It's really good. I picked it up on the ebook thing, which is like nice. You just get given an EPUB.
Yeah, I've been reading the Fall of Cadia as an EPUB as well.
Yeah, so I whacked that on my tablet, and then kind of forgot how much of a pain in the dick Google Books is.
Well, I'm using iBooks, and it's a pain of the dick as well.
Right, it was just like, okay, it's an 88 megabyte EPUB. Yeah, there's loads of artwork, that's to be expected. And then you like import it into Google Books. And it's like, oh, we just want to upload your book to the cloud. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, I can't not do that apparently. And then you can't open it until it's finished uploading and processing. And that took like an hour. So that was piss.
Well, iBooks at least isn't doing that.
Yeah, but it's really nice. I've been reading it. It's got like the history of Armageddon Wars and stuff. And then it's kind of like, it's nice in that it's basically an entire game in a book. So it's got like all of the army lists and points and equipment stuff for like every faction. Pardon me. So me and friend of the show, Ben Icarus Cotton and Tom Williamson have decided that we're going to like do it.
Looks good. You just need like a squad, right?
Yeah, so it depends. Like, yes, it's going to be a squad, but like you can have quite a few people if you go for like Chaos Cultists or whatever. But I don't want to paint a million models, so I bought Grey Knights. Fab. I turned. To...
Of course you have. He's going up Knights.
Because you have to paint 4 guys. That's it.
Up Knight Gangnam style.
Can't even take more than 4, as far as I can tell. There's literally like no way with your starting army, because like you're supposed to play a campaign and unlock more stuff.
This looks cool. I think I want to buy this book as well. Does it have Yarrick in it?
It's got bits about Yarrick. I don't think he's a character you can take. But there's no reason why you couldn't like take him as your like Imperial Guard.
He was always I used to play IG, and he was my favorite character when I was a kid.
He's unreasonably bad.
When I was your age.
You bet. You mean meanie. So yeah, I've like started assembling my kind of leader dude, painting it. And you recommended the Crate and Crowbar Miniatures podcast.
Yeah, isn't that good?
Yeah, so I've caught up with that now. And Chris was talking about like how he paints stuff, and I could just I've always known that I should paint in sub assemblies, that like I shouldn't glue everything together straight away, because then you can't get your brush into all the bits, and then I get really pissed off that I've glued it together and I can't get my brush into the bits, and I'm like, I knew this would happen, but I'm still grumpy and I've fucked up. So this time I'm just, because it's only 4 guys, because it's like, in theory I could like bash one out in a day. I've just been doing that, so like building as much as I can while leaving things accessible, and then it's going really well. They look really nice. So painting Grey Knights is really simple.
So you are doing it Chris style.
Yeah, I'm doing it Chris style.
I don't like that, because I see like the painting, the relaxing part for me is, I was actually thinking about that when they're talking about that. I see it like painting like a sculpture, and I just want to paint the whole thing, even if it's harder. Fuck you! I'm making it hard on myself.
But it's so much more fun when it's like fully assembled.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my thing as well. It's like it might be hard at some points, but it's like you see the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know if I've never been good at painting Warhammer, but
we aren't either.
Do you not paint the shadows and the highlights onto the model as well?
Well, so I've been thinking a lot about that with my time, because and there's 2 things. Like one, like you can paint it in sub assemblies and kind of like not put that, because you can always like come in with the highlights later. I just want to like, you know, not miss any bits of armor. Like I want to like paint this guy's entire arm and then not miss the armpit because I can't like reach it.
Yeah.
But also like I feel like I've been painting Space Marines for so long now that I kind of know where the highlights are going to be. So I don't need to see it assembled to know like where on the shoulder pads I want to put highlights, because I've painted so many fucking Space Marines that I'm like, it's going to go there, because it always goes there. But I think, if they were way more like way less familiar models, I'd be like a little bit more terrified that like they're not going to go together and I'll fuck it up. But I think the kind of like super limited palette of the Grey Knights is like lending itself to that, because it's like basically prime it, paint silver, do a black wash, highlight silver, do details, job done. It's like super easy, which is like one of the reasons why I picked them. I think once I get to like the shoulder pads that have like interesting colors and like some freehand things on it, I'm gonna cry. But until that point, like I'm kind of enjoying it. But it's slow. Like I'll give you, it's really slow. I probably could have painted 2 normal Marines in the time it's taken to do this one guy in sub-assemblies, because you kind of have to keep track of all the little bits, and I'm like terrified I'm going to lose his sword. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
then I'll have the wrong sword and it'll be wrong and I can't cope. So yeah, that's good. Hopefully we're actually going to play the game, because it seems kind of simple. It's like not full 40k, but it's very similar, and there's fewer dudes to worry about. The only thing I can see is that like it relies a lot on terrain. Like there's a load of rules about like hiding. So like rather than like in 40k you can go to ground, I think, but in this you can like actively like say like, oh, my dude's hiding, and then like you're like invisible to a certain range. Like if you're hiding, people can only detect you like within some maths of them, so like you can't be seen as much. There's like more stealthy shit going on, which seems like a fun game. And I think there are like scatter templates, which is kind of annoying because 8th edition's not going to have that, and I kind of like that about 8th edition. But I don't know, it's cool. It's nice and self-contained, and I'll never have to buy another codex for it, which is cool. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, Grey Knights, they're just cool. They're like the ultimate teenage power fantasy of like, oh my god, they're like the best of the best, and they've got all the cool kit and the big swords and the like demon heads and stuff. It's just good.
Yeah, that's the Dark Angels, right?
Well, no, the Grey Knights have big swords and halberds, and they like.
But we have robes.
My main lad has a robe. I've painted his robe. It looks alright. Yeah, they don't go full. They don't go full robe. Which I like the robe. It makes no sense, so it's good. Why are we wearing robes? Like we've got power armor.
Looks great.
So yeah, there's that. That's it.
Looks emo.
Oh, then there was a cool tweet I saw from Art Stevenson on Twitter, and it's a screenshot from the like Warhammer 40,000 Facebook page. And basically in one of the comments, there's a guy who said, so it's like a photo of the Necron guy. And the guy's like, any chance of seeing a Necron profile soon? So he clearly means like, weapon skill, ballistics, toughness, leadership, all that jazz. But the official Warhammer account just replies with Necron, photo of Necron's face, and then like a profile photo of the Necron's face. It's like Necron profile. Yeah, it's like the new Games Workshop of like actually like being human and nice on social media.
Oh, why didn't they do that 10 years ago? I told them to do that 10 years ago. Well,
and then there's like some people saying, "Oh, Games Workshop," and then the account replying is like, "I know what you're thinking. You're thinking these guys are better than that, right?" So like they're getting like a self-aware social media.
So they're like Wendy's, but nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what they just did is like, this is the exactly same people that worked there before who probably weren't allowed to do this.
Yeah.
And they just fired somebody, or like somebody retired who was like a really stick in the ass. Well, we can't do this. And now they're just good. They let the people, be nice, which is cool. We want more of that.
Yes. And, that means I spend more money with them, and then they're happy and I'm happy. Because as I said, like on Twitter the other day, it's like no one ever dies and thinks, oh man, I bought too much Warhammer. No one thinks that.
No.
Like,
No.
Always.
I might.
What? You don't have that much.
Yeah, but I don't paint it, so I've bought it, and I've bought all these paints. And I've never done anything with it.
So the only thing you'll say is like, why didn't I ever paint that Warhammer?
Yes, that's my final words. Will be on my grave.
Damn it! So what do you got lying around?
I have Celestine.
Oh, nice.
Because I I'm a girly girl, and I was like, oh, she's so nice.
She's amazing. I want that model. That new model is great.
And I had the Dark Eldar Warlock guys.
Oh, cool.
I really like the Eldar. Yeah.
Still got what's the first Primarch they released? Angron?
Manus?
No, I think it was Angron. I still have him like laying around, and I can't still have like all. I'm looking at my thing here, and like I nearly got all the Space Marines done. I had like from the Dark Vengeance box set and stuff, but I still have like all the Chaos stuff, which is just like it's just like base coated.
So much to paint, so little time.
Yeah. Well, that's
Just put together an Armageddon kill team.
first word. I got lots of Dark Angels. I could just probably use a tech squad.
All these things that people are saying that is literally enough to make a thing to play a game.
Can I just use one Land Raider?
No, see, there's no vehicles. Like the biggest thing I think is a Terminator.
But there's no vehicles. What's the Imperial Guard to do?
Take literally all of the people. So they'll take, I think there's 20 maybe. It might be 10 or 20. I can't remember. There's like a hard cap on the miniatures number, but they'll just take more people rather than my 4 lads. Yeah, so we can do that. That'd be good. Should we talk about the best video game in the world?
An hour into the show, we're gonna talk about Microsoft Excel in space.
That's original.
Wow.
I think you've been playing Eve the longest, probably.
Yeah, I think I've been playing the longest out of the Alliance, actually.
Oh my god!
So since when?
Technically, so I've been playing since 2007, January 2007.
God,
So
that's 10 years.
10 years. And I've only ever had one character, my little Adjuteur. I played for about 2 years when I first started, and then I quit because I was in a big alliance called Band of Brothers, and we got basically goon swarmed out of our home system. So all of my stuff just got wiped, essentially, and I was like, screw this game, I've quitted. And then Momo persuaded me back in like 2010, 2011. Yeah. It's been, I've been on and off ever since, but this is probably the longest stint I've actually played Eve for now.
How come you don't have all the skills yet?
Because I don't know, I'm just kind of useless. Like, I don't use there's all these like skill injectors and skill extractors and all this sort of stuff now, and I'm not into that. I just want to, fly cool ships, and yeah.
You're old school.
Yeah, I'm very old school, exactly. One character, I always forget to update my skill queue, but I do love it.
It's like I'm so happy the goons aren't in Elite.
I know, right?
We only have Harry Potter to contend with.
I'm surprised they aren't. Like, it seems like the kind of place where they could really be a dick.
They're probably too shit to land in a station because they don't have hotels. Actually, I saw this today on Twitter again. Hutton Orbital claimed another player where he's like, "Oh, I've been playing like Elite Dangerous, and like they want me to fly to the station, and it takes 1 hour. I'm quitting this for No Man's Sky."
Yeah, I tried parking my spaceship in Elite Dangerous, and I failed miserably, so I kind of gave up.
This is me, like, this is weird, because, like, I know lots of people who play Elite, and I know people who play Eve, but I don't think I know people who really play both.
I guess Dave kind of does, right?
I don't really play video games. What? No, I'm so torn. So, like, there's a thing that I've been kind of, like, ranting about with you about Eve Online, and mostly, like, about software as well. Is that, like, I suppose, like, people who write software have exactly the same mentality as people who do stuff in EVE Online. Is that they're just obsessed with just layering layers of needless complexity and atop things. So, like, Eve is already, like, you boot into it and you go, man, why the fuck is there like another operating system? Like, why do
Yeah,
I have
it's the blender of video games.
like why do I have a start menu for my fucking
Yeah.
spaceship game? What is this? And then Eve players go, but yeah, what if we made this more complicated? Like, what if we thought like all the mechanics in the game, they're like not enough, so we're gonna like implement all these other fucking things outside the game, like buyback things where you can like sell your stuff back to the corp, which is super useful and I like doing it. But it does, you just sort of sit there and be like, Jesus, I'm like having to like make like API keys to like get like third-party tools to look at my account and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck off. And then there's like the ridiculous OPSEC that they do to like protect their communications, which is ultimately fucking pointless. Like it's not like difficult to get around, and I'm pretty sure like we have spies. Like,
We do have spies, yeah, definitely.
so it's kind of proving this like security theater of like
That's just at least that's the same as in Elite.
this like the security theater of like we try to keep the secret and then it's not because like it's utterly futile. So yeah, there's like yeah, so there's like that. That's the kind of thing, and when I'm in the mood to be like told what to do, like I want to play Eve. Like I want someone to say like, okay, this is what you should fit your ship with, because I'm bad at fitting ships. Like I'm just terrible at like designing fits. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what any of these. I don't know what these numbers mean. It's like I want to make the thing go pew. I want to make the mining thing.
That's
go
like
mining.
me. You know, when we were talking about Elite, and I was Mike, who's like play. I've been playing it for like 3-4 years, and Mike's been playing it for 3 months, and he tells me the jump range of his ship, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even have that. It's because I'm the same. I just click at things, and it's like, this makes the number better, but I don't understand what it does.
Yeah, when I'm feeling like maybe I can wrestle the kind of like behemoth that is the mechanics of Eve. Like it's literally the best thing. Like it's so good. But then like Elite is like, I want to go do my own thing on my own. I don't want people like shouting and influencing my life. So like where we live in space, like if we're just like trying to do like PvE stuff and like make money, like we have to be aware of like enemies coming into the system, and if they do, we all have to like dock up and like run for the hills or like try to fight them. So I run for the hills because I'm bad, but other people like try to fend them off. But in Elite, it's just like, okay, there's like NPCs, and they're kind of easy to beat generally. So like,
well, you can have the same thing in Elite, but you can turn it off.
yeah, but like I can't. Sometimes I want to have the kind of like friendship thing. I want to be like, oh man, we're in space together. Like,
Well, yeah, and you can have that too. So you can just be like in an instance with your friends. So that's what I mean. You can play. You can turn the hostile other players off, basically.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, I mean, where me and Dave live, it's kind of it's called Providence, and I think there's a lot of like role play that goes on in this.
That's all the Pro-V shit.
Yeah, all the Pro-V Elon Musk stuff. Yeah, because there's we're like with CVA, which is some ridiculous space Latin, but they're like quite a hard role-playing community, I think. Like they take it pretty seriously, and I do not. I think.
Yeah, not everyone has to, I guess, but yeah, there are quite a lot of role players in Providence, I would say. So we all have to kind of abide by particular rules. One of the rules is not red, don't shoot it. So if a player is neutral, you're not allowed to shoot at it unless they engage you first. Whereas in other regions of Eve, those alliances will just like shoot at even if you're neutral.
They're like not blue, shoot it. Isn't that the acronym? And
yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sort of social kind of rules around where we live, which you have to abide by.
That's interesting. Like I just keep comparing it in my head to Elite, and the player group I'm with does the same thing. It's just not so codified yet because I think Eve's community is a lot older.
Right, yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually. It's very codified in Providence, like you have to abide by it, and everyone understands it. And the rest of Eve, you see people talking about them on the streams and stuff, they kind of hate Providence for some reason. Like, everybody really hates the way we live, and they're like, we want to liberate Providence from this, like, oppressive kind of play style, but we're like, it's cool.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's interesting. Like, well, the thing we talked about this when I talked about that event in Elite and the fact that these events really don't work in Elite because you have these shards where some players are on, and you can be either in open where like you're there with random players, or you can be in a shard just with your friends. And Eve's big thing is that there's only one game world. So I find it interesting that this is like a region in space. But it's kind of the same in Elite, because the player group I'm with, Dart and Truckers, we have systems. There's an in-game group. It's kind of like a corp in Elite, and we have systems. And like everybody hates, like lots of people hate us as well because we're so laid back, because we won't shoot back. Like there was a time when they tried, like, it's not like in Eve where you can directly attack somebody, like another thing, but you can do economic attacks. So they were giving us, like, they made it so we had an outbreak in our system, like with lots of, like, you get like sickness,
Okay.
and which generates a lot of bio waste. So basically shit. And then we just shipped the shit out because we're truckers, and made a lot of money. Because you get paid a lot when you ship. Like, it's kind of like, the economy is kind of like in Eve, where like something happens, and then you'll have like this player generated stuff, and then you have a certain commodity will suddenly be worth more.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So they just wanted to get all the bio waste out of the system, so we just shipped the shit out, and everybody got really rich.
That's really interesting. And then you get situations where it's like there could be conspiracies where maybe the person that wanted to make a lot of money from this bio waste, like they could have planted the disease in the first place or something.
Oh wow, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, I'm full
like,
paranoid.
Yeah, no, it's Eve players. I was talking to Dave, like that event they had in Elite, where like basically a guy, there was a character in a book who was an account in the game. An author who's writing a book had this character, and like depending on if the character got killed, if she got killed or not, he'd write it in his book. And they had like protection details and shit. And in the end, like one of the most notorious trolls in Elite, a guy called Harry Potter, basically ingratiated himself with the protection details and then got in and killed the VIP.
Nice.
Which is like in Eve, that's like a total, like in Elite, this is like, whoa, oh my god, mind blown, what the fuck's going on? And in Elite's just like, yeah, seen that before 500 times.
Did we talk about World War Weeb last time?
No.
Okay. Yui, please describe World War Weeb and why we are so shameful.
So World War Weeb, it's Waffles. There's an alliance in the Eve called Waffles, and I believe that the leader or fleet commander, banned all of the people in the alliance from posting about anime, or because they kept doing it, they kept posting anime girls, pictures of anime girls.
They moved their chat from like TeamSpeak to Discord, and suddenly that means you can post photos and GIFs.
Right,
so people
exactly.
Are like suddenly revealing that they're super into anime and they're posting GIFs.
Well, they're called what? Waffles?
Yeah, Waffles.
What's the surprise?
Well,
lucky that they weren't all into furries.
Well, yeah. So basically, what happened was the leader banned it. Okay, and I don't know the specifics of how it went down, but basically, someone said if you get the 10 corpses of this one player in Eve, they can start posting anime again. So this one player in Eve is Jintan, and we're in a coalition with him actually, and so his corpse is now technically like a commodity because people need 10 of it to start posting.
So you need to pot kill him like 10 times.
Exactly, that's right.
the same guy who gave the order that like if you give us 10 corpses. Will really lift the ban. Also said, if you bring me 20, we'll make it.
Sorry, you cut out there. You make it what?
If they give him 20 corpses, it'll be permanent.
What? Oh,
So then there's like two factions within Waffles. Some who want to preserve anime, and some who want to like ban it forever.
Yeah. So it's World War Weeb because
Good.
they're all coming from. Where are Waffles? Do you know? I don't know where they live.
Far away, I think.
I can find out in a second.
in
But
Waffle
yeah,
Town.
they're basically coming into They're coming into like Providence, our region, and basically causing a load of havoc. Like they're trying to take jump bridges off us. They're disabling jump bridges. They're doing all this stuff to just try and cause lots of havoc. So it's given us lots of like content, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Content. It's like fucking anime wars. I love you guys. You like you make like the good out of like shit. There's basically people shitting on you, and you're like, oh well, it's content.
Exactly. Yes.
God, it takes a special mentality to be an Eve player.
This is very true. I think as soon as the World War Weeb stuff started coming out, I was like, oh, we are actually kind of terrible.
Yeah, I explained it to a guy at work, and he was like, "For fuck's sake, Dave! Like, what? Why? Why do you do
Stop
this?" I'm like, I don't endorse this war. Like, I think it's kind of shameful. It gives us a bad name.
I think it's great. I think it's.
Well,
then
it's also a lot of fun. I mean, the fleets have actually been quite entertaining.
That sounds amazing.
Gives us some fun things to do.
Which is nice, yeah.
I've just discovered that I'm not an Eve player. I always went back to it for the character creator. And now that Elite has one, I'll never go back, I think.
Do you have like 10 Eve characters just sat doing nothing?
I've got 4, I think, yeah.
Wow.
They all sit like in the war academy thing. Kildari.
You just log in one day on the fly and it's like, oh.
Yeah, they sometimes get like I looked in last time and they got like Christmas presents from like 3 years ago, like in the account.
Brilliant. So yeah,
that's the weeb shit.
Yeah.
But we did a thing. We went to a real world thing. We went to.
Oh yeah. To Iceland.
Which I think I've done like 2 episodes since coming back, and I've not really mentioned it.
And you've been on GQ.
I have
explaining what EVE Online is.
Yeah.
I'll put the video in the show notes.
Yeah. So I really wanted to go last year, basically because I was like, oh my god, like I finished university, I've got money. I want to go. I was going to go with like the old PC Gamer Corporation people, so like friend of the show, St. Michael Soul. I was going to go like with them, and then I spent all my money on like vinyl and like an Xbox, and just didn't have the money, so didn't go. But then basically joining COG, I joined literally as people were coming back from FanFest. Like it was really quiet on like the in the Corp chat because like. I was like, "Where's everyone?" And they're like, "Oh, they're flying back from Iceland like right now." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go with these people." And then Yui was like, "I'm going too." And I was like, "Okay, good. I will know people there, and it'll be great." And it was the most fun I think I've had at an event, probably.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I get a bit like anxious about conventions and things. Like I can't deal with a lot of big crowds, but the size of FanFest, like the amount of people there, it was just right. It wasn't too few and it wasn't too many. It was like, and they were all really like-minded. You know, there was probably like one arsehole the whole time.
I think I know the guy you mean. There was just one person who was like the person. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That guy.
Dave, did you just say this was better than Occamp?
Yes, fam.
I might have to kick you off the show.
Oh, that you should come next year.
Ah, God, Iceland is so fucking cold.
I mean, yeah, it's cold. I'll give you that.
Alcohol.
Well, yeah.
It's good.
My plan for next year first is Black Library Live, though.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if we can, we'll see.
Yeah. So, but I was kind of like scared that like the only people I would know would be like Yui and then like a couple of people from the Corp, and I wouldn't really know anyone. But it ended up being like pretty much impossible to go anywhere without meeting people I knew.
See a
which
whole
was
damn
really nice.
fucking Twitter feed, probably.
Yeah, it was basically just everyone from Twitter, which was super cool. Ended up meeting Rick Javix and Liz, which was super nice. I met Scared Panda. I met the Space Pope.
Oh yeah, I've seen him in the video as well.
Yeah,
Looks
the
great.
Space
He's
Pope.
got like some nuns.
Yeah, the Space Pope posed for a photo where he was pouring beer over my lap.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Because I was a fucking derp and I did the White Russian and poured beer all over myself. So he's like, "This is a great photo. We're gonna do this." I saw St. Michael's Soul, which was cool because second time we met up, but like the previous time I don't really remember it because I was very drunk. That was really good. All the cog people were good. All the cog people like had their own kind of like house. You like rented out an entire house, didn't you?
Yes, we rented out a big house in Iceland, and it was the Cog House, and we got up to all kinds of shenanigans. We had breakfast together, we all cooked the little meals together. It was like a little family.
You had a cog flag as like a...
You don't want to pronounce that wrong, by the way.
Yes.
Like you have
We made
a
lots of
German in
fun.
the group. Welcome to the cockhouse. Let's put up the cock flag.
Yeah, the cog flag got used as like a what is it?
Tablecloth kind
Like a
of thing.
tablecloth. Yeah, which is cool. And then the second one got like hung up at the convention center, which was
Over the Goon Swarm flag.
which we knocked off, didn't we?
We did, and I'm so sorry if there's any goons listening. I don't
Good
know if there
on, good
are.
on ya.
If there are goons, they can fuck themselves. You're banned.
Ooh,
I kind of do like him.
I don't.
If not for the whole like Derek Smart connection and them giving Star Citizen a lot of shit, which I always support.
See,
always.
That was really cool. Like, I think you said that like you were basically there for like the keynote. I think after the keynote you were like, "Well, I'm done now. I've seen what I wanted to see." Which I mean, it was kind of true. Like the keynote was cool. It sort of like went into like what's happening in EVE over the next year, and there's like pretty cool like content coming. Like they were like announcing the new stars which just released. Like we've got new stars.
We talked about that last time. That cracks me up.
We got new graphics. Like
they
it's
look like actual suns in space. They have
Yeah.
like.
I mean, Fab's gonna be like, but Elite Dangerous already had that 4 years ago. I'm like, good point, but this game came out in 2003.
Well, also like I do completely understand. Like if you want a game that just looks good, you'll probably play Elite. Like Eve's Point is a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it was never meant to just like be like space graphics porn.
But let's give it the sort of the benefit of the doubt. Like Eve is still a pretty game. I mean, Elite is very, very pretty, but Eve does pretty well, I would say.
Well, you can now zoom in a lot, which I liked. When I know when I used to play it, like you couldn't really zoom into the ships because
Yeah, and the textures were awful.
yeah, they were shit. So now it's a lot better.
And they were like there was a.
I liked how we talked about how how they had like this thing in Star Citizen where they had this mock-up where they just stole like a planetary nebula from Eve.
Yeah.
Which anybody who knows anything out of space games would have spotted immediately because it was like this really, the really typical green nebulas.
Yeah, that's like Galente space.
Yeah, that's like
yeah.
Eve's thing.
No
Yeah.
way.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
They just photoshopped that in the background of like a mock-up.
Yeah. So like there was also like there were loads of like presentations on stuff, ranging from like super niche like third-party developer like
API stuff.
API chat, which I went to, and they tried to live deploy some code, and it failed because it's live coding, and it always fails. It's like I could have told them that would be a bad plan, but
Yeah, you fake that. That's how you do that.
they're really nice about it. They were to like some pretty like intense like graphic stuff of like how they do all the graphics things, to some live kind of like concept art they were doing, where they were like taking feedback from the audience about what to draw. That was really fun. There was an awesome lecture from like a guy, like the most physicist man you'll ever meet. He was the first person to discover an exoplanet, and he gave a big talk about like the history of exoplanets and how you find them. And that was all like feeding into like the new feature that's happening now. Because like I don't know if like you're aware, but like Eve has like citizen science stuff.
Yeah, no, I did some like I was looking in there and it's like, what is this? What is it? Is Katie's work in Eve? You know, they have this like matching of basic. I think they're electron microscope images, and you have to like tell what's a cell and what's a nucleus.
Yeah, so they kind of like ran out of data for that, but they're adding a new one, which is identifying extrasolar planets by like. So it's like luminosity changes and stuff like that.
For when a planet potentially passes in front of a star.
Yeah.
Which like you can kind of automate, but it kind of gets really complicated really quickly if you have loads of them.
And also AI is shit.
Well, it's like a really complicated system to solve. So like if you just throw people at it and get us to like plug through the data, then like that's coming soon.
That's the future, Dave. It's if you read Warhammer stuff, cogitators. The future is not AI. The future is just people wired up to shit.
Yeah. So there was that presentation, and then there was like loads of like nightlife stuff, which was cool. There was like a big pub crawl, which was great. I don't remember much of that.
That sounds like my kind of conference.
We sort of like got put into teams with some developers who would like guide us around and take us to like various bars and stuff.
Yeah, so we went to was it Hard Rock Cafe?
Yeah, we started off in the Hard Rock Cafe, which was quite good.
There's a Hard Rock Cafe in Reykjavik?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know, I was surprised too when we actually got in the place. I was like, oh, there's a Hard Rock Cafe in Reykjavik. And then we went to Prikid, which is that awesome little pub where we're all upstairs and we're all making a right ruckus. Yeah. Those poor people just going in there for a quiet drink, and all of a sudden like 50 nerds just kind of storm this tiny little pub. It was awesome.
With CCP Spider like singing about potatoes, like
that's
really
right,
loudly.
Had a potato. Yeah,
because there's a Eve player meet called Eve Dublin, and like apparently last year he got given a potato by someone. So again, that happened this year. But then CCP Spider stole it and then was like singing about it, about like this is my spuddy and he is my buddy. And, he is a potato, like, and looks like Jared Leto or something. Like that was like it was very messy.
You guys are all fucking mad.
Yeah, and then we went to like this kind of bar with darts and a very intimidating Icelandic man who scared me away from playing darts.
I stood on the back of his foot and I got a swift telling off. I got a bit too close to him for some reason. I think I was just a bit drunk at that point, and he gave me a good staring at, which is quite scary.
So then we went outside to deal with someone who was like throwing up, which was cool. And then there was a very tiny Icelandic man who was just like hanging around, not really speaking English and being a bit creepy.
You mean the Norwegian guy?
No, so that was like the Norwegian dude, but the really short old guy outside.
Well,
he's totally Norwegian.
Was he Norwegian?
I was going to say that Icelandic people are always looking for like, refreshers for the gene pool. You gotta watch them.
Watch your women.
Yeah.
And then after that, like there was the kind of like main event thing, like a pub where like it's like all the groups were going different routes. So, and then the final thing where everyone sort of converged on what turned out to be like the tiniest bar in the world.
Yeah, and it was ridiculously warm.
It was like a boiling, sweaty bar. Like we couldn't even like get to the dance floor. Not that we were going to go because like this was like the day after we might have crashed a car. So like Ellie couldn't really walk fast at all, nor dance. Yeah, so we sort of sat down.
Dave, did you crash the car?
I did crash the car.
I've done this. I know your pain.
Yeah. Yui and Emma were in the car, and I felt like a right tit. I still do. So yeah, we kind of like left. I think other people like went and got kebabs and stuff after, but we were like, oh, we're sort of limping around. We're gonna go home. But there we met. Was that the day we met Sam White for the first time?
Possibly. I saw him in the kebab shop after. So
yeah, so like Sam White is the reason why I am in a GQ video, because he does freelance video game stuff, and GQ paid for him to go out to Iceland and cover FanFest, and he was like, I need to find people to like say who they are, like in real life and in Eve, and like what Eve is. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. That's cool.
One of my colleagues was there as well, covering it for us.
Sweet.
Maybe I can go next year.
Yeah, like that's the thing. You write things on the internet.
So the thing is, like, I like him, and he does our video game coverage, right? But just to be, you know, he might hear this, but I don't give a damn. Just to be frank, he knows fuck all about space games.
Whereas, like, you know about space games, so you can come out to FanFest next year.
I know a lot about space games.
Yeah, okay,
Make
so that's
it
good.
happen, Fab.
You're coming to FanFest next year. Good.
I'll try.
Yeah, so he was like, so, like, Dave, like, who are you? So I said my name, what I am in real life, like what EVE Online is, which I think I'm like the first person.
Yeah, you're the first person to
Which
great.
Which is
it
nice.
opens and it's like, now we're gonna see what Eve is. And it's like Dave, Megan's Nicholas. Well, Eve is this.
It's like a big sandbox where you blow shit up. Like you spend days working toward. I was
the
like,
one quote that Dave said that everyone keeps quoting from now, which is, "I'm basically a space peasant."
Yeah, Dave's a fucking peasant. You're missing like the flat cap.
yeah. So like, that's like mentioned in the article that they wrote up, and like I just found that line and I was like, Sam used it to be like, you can be a space peasant or you can do all these other cool things.
I'm a space peasant.
But it was really funny because
Dave.
like,
I'm a space peasant.
yeah, I was like, they were like, what do you do in game? I'm like, oh, you know, in game I'm basically a space peasant. I just sort of like do menial shit and try to get money. And like, what do you do in real life? It's like, I'm a software engineer, so I kind of feel like I achieve things.
Hey Huey, what are you? What are you in game?
Oh, what am I? Oh, I'm a HR now. I'm officially HR for my Alliance COG, Central Omni Galactic Group.
You should join.
You're space HR.
Yeah, I'm space HR, and I'm kind of a mentor now. So I try and get newcomers up and running and whatnot.
Right.
And any sort of drama that goes on,
You just try to recruit new peasants.
New peasants, and we're going to make them rich.
I mean, citation needed, but yeah, sure. Yes, that was good. Yeah, but I really wanted to say like I'm a space prole because it's just a better word. But then Sam was like on board with that, but the camera guy was like, "Can we just do that again? Because I don't think the target audience is going to understand the word prole." And I was like, "Oh, fine, I'll call myself a peasant instead," which seems to have gone down quite well, which is good.
So now there's a whole market of men that think that you can be a peasant in EVE Online, which is probably not true.
It's definitely true.
Dave really needs like a flannel shirt and an axe and like a flat cap.
I think like if like the Space King came like along, I would be like properly quoting Monty Python, being like, "Now we see the violence inherent in the system." Like, I'm a space peasant. I stand by that. I think that's true.
All right.
Well,
I'm like,
it kind of fits.
I'm there like mining away. Like,
hey, I'm a trucker. I'm a space trucker.
My forefathers, except I'm in space, and they were actually in coal mines.
We're like the space proles.
Yeah, so there was that. Then like the other kind of big thing was the kind of party at the top of the world, which you didn't go to because you had like a super early flight to catch.
Yeah.
Which like next year you've got to go to because it was literally the best.
Was it lit?
Lit. It was lit as fuck. They had some like Icelandic band that I can't say the name of and I don't really know anything about. But they had that band. Yeah. But they also had Christian Nens, who plays Hodor in Game of Thrones, and
Hodor.
He's like actually a DJ, like he DJ stuff, and he's all right. Like he's technically good, but I don't really like the genre. So I went in and I was like, "Oh, it's Christian Nens, been DJ. Sweet. I'm gonna go talk to people outside." Which was fine because it ended up just literally just me talking to people for like 4 hours until the bouncers were like, "Please, can you leave? Like, we've let you have like an extra half an hour on top of like when you're supposed to have left." I was like, "We kind of want to go home now." And it's like, "Okay, sure." And I was walking out and I was like, "Oh, has it been all right?" And he's like, "It's our favorite event to be bouncers for because everyone is just nice." It's the kind of event where people like take their glasses back to the bar. rather than just like smashing them on the floor.
It's the space proles. They're really nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was super nice seeing everyone. And it's kind of like led us to set up our own thing.
What?
Neatly segueing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Nice segue. So I don't remember like how it kind of started, but me and Dave just decided one day, hey, so London has like an Eve gathering and Nottingham has an Eve gathering and Dublin, but Manchester doesn't. We should do a Manchester Eve gathering, which is now a thing.
Are you from Manchester?
I am, yes.
Yeah, I was
from
guessing
Stockport.
from the accent, but I'm shit with accents.
Yeah, so I'm like just south of Manchester. I'm about half an hour drive from city centre.
Yeah, I know where that is. I just didn't know if you were born there, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So we are. I'm pretty sure this one day I messaged Dave, right, and I was like, so we should set up that event. This was probably about 2 weeks ago. Was it, Dave?
Yeah.
And within a day, we had a logo. Well, we'd had a logo being sorted, an image, and yeah.
Does it have a flat cap? Is a flat cap involved?
Sadly not.
Damn.
But I'm sure Dave will turn up to the event.
I can do it's in July, so it'll be quite toasty. It might be too warm for a flat cap.
No, actually, I bought. I've been watching Peaky Blinders a lot, and I've become a huge fan of like newsboy caps, and because they actually kind of originated in Italy, you can get them made out of like
Super Tory leather.
No. Yeah, that too. No, just like
The actual skin of an Italian.
no. What's that? Fuck. What's that material called?
Some sort of wool.
No. It's very linen, basically.
A linen hat.
You can make them out of.
Okay. I'm not going to wear one of those. I'm not going to lie. That sounds bad.
Why?
It's a linen hat. Like, linen is a thing that you make, like, shirts out of if you're a kid.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's very light. It's good for the summer. Like,
No hat is also good for the summer.
no, you need to wear your hat because.
Are you not a gentleman, Dave?
Yes.
Oh, you've met me.
But I don't mean linen. My God, what's that fucking?
I don't know, Fab. I'm working on
yeah.
the assumption that they're made of linen. Because that's what you said.
God, now I have to get like a fucking dictionary.
What's it in German, Fab?
No, linen is linen, so that's wrong. I'm looking for like kind of like Baumwolle.
Oh, of course.
That'll help you, won't it?
It's kind of a type of wool.
No, it's kind of like cotton, but it's like there's like a. I can't even remember the German word. You've completely like fucked with my brain now. I've got like can make shirts out of it. I've got like several shirts that are made out of it, but like.
Okay, I think I know what. Is it polyester?
No. It's a natural.
Playtex.
Polyester is really shit for the summer because you get really like sweaty.
Vinyl.
Anyway, just keep going. I'll do some research on.
Yeah, so like we spent like an afternoon like making Twitter accounts and email addresses and getting quotes for artwork, and like we've got badges. Like we've got like 150 stickers just sitting on my desk ready to like stick on stuff. And people, we made stickers because that's like a thing.
You're like actually. This is like serious.
Yeah, we've got like lapel pin badges being made. Right?
What?
Yeah.
Enamel.
Madness.
Enamel.
What
We're
is
taking
this?
this
Like
shit seriously.
is this like the space Prole revolution? This is
Hell
going.
yes.
So yeah, we're doing that. It's on the 22nd of July in a bar that I can't say the name of.
It's Sandinista
There you go.
in Manchester City Centre.
You've got a venue already. What?
Yes, sir.
So we're on fire, Fab.
We
Wow.
don't mess around, Fab. We don't
Do
mess
not
around.
fuck around.
I can tell. Yes.
So yeah, come along, people. Come to the thing. Talk about the spaceship games. It'll be a laugh.
Yeah, we'll hopefully have maybe some people bring in some board games. and it's a hired venue, so it's downstairs in Sandinista, so it's a lovely environment, nice atmosphere. We've got pretty damn good drinks. We're hopefully going to get some POS fuel on the go, which Fab probably doesn't know what that is.
No, Dave mentioned it before. It's like an Eve specific drink.
It's disgusting, but
it's called Puzz.
It's the best drink. I will not have. It's so good. It's like Monster Energy drink and then just shots of stuff.
WKD and all kinds of.
Yeah, it's medicinal. It's good. It's healing. It's good for you.
It's got vitamins.
Yeah, it's got a fruity aroma that's probably not from fruit. It's great.
Well, I've done some research, and I mean linen.
So my point stands. I'm not wearing a linen hat.
It's good for the summer. Seriously. I'll be wearing one in July when we meet in Dublin. I will make you believe. It's good.
I don't want to believe, Fab.
Dave, it's part of the revolution.
We're not wearing flat caps, Fab.
I will.
Fine. Well, you're not invited to our revolution.
Damn it.
It would be so nice if Fab could come, but it is quite far.
When is it again?
22nd of July.
Well, yeah, I don't think I can manage this year. Basically, I've spent all my money on like a month in Australia and Fiji.
Fair enough.
But make it a success, and I'll try next year.
Yeah. So the stickers and lapel badges don't have the year on it because I'm planning on doing it again because it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great.
Dave, I fucking want one of those badges. You better keep one for me when I come up.
Okay, I will reserve one for you.
Yes, and we've got we're having a raffle type thing too, so we've got some pretty nice stuff already lined up, I would say.
What are you calling the event again? Just so that I...
Eve Manchester. We have a website. We have a URL. Like literally within hours of us deciding to do it.
Yeah.
It's what is it? eve-manchester.co.uk, and it forwards to a page that has loads of information about how to get it, which links to like what it is, the venue, how to like get there implicitly through Google Maps. Links to our Twitter account. We've got a Facebook.
Oh, that's the logo. Didn't like Rick Jarvis do that?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
it looks fucking great.
It's very Manchester United themed.
Is he like a Penguins fan?
I think he is
because he was posting some Penguins stuff, which was
yes,
really
he
cool.
is. Yeah, he is.
Ah, love it.
Because I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, not another Fab.
Not another one. That's a good logo. That it's really good.
Nice.
I really want one of those badges. I can put it on my linen hat.
Damn you.
We'll make it happen, Fab, don't you worry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It looks good.
People should come to that. We can talk about Eve Online. I will recruit you. I've got a very special method of recruiting people. It involves them sitting on my lap.
He
whispers sweet nothings.
I am afraid.
Come to space. We've got asteroids. We've got...
It's not really hard to recruit me. You just need to ply me with drinks.
We're pro anime. That's one of our.
That's your thing.
Our founding principles is that we are pro anime gifts.
Really, all of them.
I mean, most of them. A good 99% of them.
What if they include tentacles?
Well, I mean, that's why there's the 1%.
Even better.
I am part of the 1%. Space Prole revolution.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like World War hentai next. And I'm not okay with it.
Oh yes! Oh god, I'm part of that. Sign me up.
Oh no.
The HMS tentacle porn is ready to serve. I really like that whole design's really good. That's fucking good.
It's epic. He did such a great job.
Yeah.
Good
so
work.
That's like Eve. That's our selling thing of it. That last week we had you and Mike being like, Elite's the best, and now we're like, nah, Eve's the best because we meet up and get drunk.
Right, you do know I'll have to get Mike on for the next show now. Again.
This is it. This is literally it. It's like we're just changing it to
What space game radio?
it's secretly already what the podcast has been for a long time, but
Yeah. Well, I
let's
don't
make it official.
bit of Warhammer. This is really cool.
So yeah, should we do feedback?
Yeah, before we do that, I just want to say we have to have Yui on more. I really like your accent. It's awesome.
This is it.
Thank you.
This is it. Again, with people coming on being better than me with more interesting accents.
Yeah, that's a problem you have. It's like fucking Dan. I tried to get him to talk like Liverpoolian for like 7 years. And
I know it's such a shame, Dave, that you don't have like really sort of Stewie level Welsh accent.
Yes! Oh god, that would be so good.
There's a guy in the corp and he's just so Welsh, and I'm like, oh, God. Like, you're so nice, but you do remind me of my childhood, and that is a problem.
Oh dear.
It's like you remind me of everyone I grew up with, and it's like I left Wales. I don't go there now.
This is why I left.
We don't go to Wales.
I mean, to clarify, you don't have to have a Welsh accent. Just get another one. Just get an Irish accent. I'm good.
Anything. Just any accent. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Please come to.
By the way,
I make it a massive success, unless there are more than 80 of you. And then,
In which case, we may need a new venue.
yeah, we'll be like, can you fuck off, please?
I am putting a picture in the show notes. I found the perfect linen hat for you.
Right.
This is great. This is a Stetson Hatteras newsboy cap.
I'm not excited about this.
And
Have you heard of cheesecloth?
It's perfect. What, cheesecloth? No.
Yeah, it's cheesecloth. It's a type of linen, I think. I'm just gonna look it up.
Cheese. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is a tradition on the show. Live Googling.
Oh man, I've not bought a book. Yeah. Fab, quick, recommend a book.
A book on the show.
Yeah, because that's like a feature. That's an ongoing.
Do
thing
you
that
own the whole Dark Tower stuff?
No, but I kind of don't want to.
Okay. So that doesn't work.
It's gonna have to give me the
Fall of Cadia. Fall of Cadia.
Okay.
It's really expensive though, but it's good.
Damn it.
It's got like 100. Like what I like about this is to get back on it. It has like 100 pages of lore. Like more than half of the book is just like lore, which I really like. And it's really good lore.
So finally, like a 40k book for Fab. I'm looking at this hat, Fab, and I'm thinking, no.
It's amazing. So cheesecloth is like that's because that's the stuff they use to make certain kinds of cheese.
Yeah, they wrap it, but it's muslin, which is they use with babies a lot, I guess. But it's very like breathable fabric. And it's
Yeah. Muslin newsboy cap.
Muslin hat.
Yep. You can get newsboy caps made of that.
Oh my god, no! What have you done?
I bought 3.
What?
Yeah, I own 3 now, and they're like
Do we need a hat intervention?
Well, I have a real warm one, which is like
I'm almost certain you've like bought like 4 or 5 hats this year.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
But this is like well, there's 2 reasons. I always liked them, and like there's kind of like Fallout 4, right? They have this newsboy cap thing, which I really like. So I really liked them since then. And then I had Ack tell me on Twitter that I can't wear them, which is why like I bought. I immediately bought another one because fuck that guy. Nobody's gonna tell me what I'm not going to wear. You don't tell me what I can't do, to quote Locke.
Fab, you're not allowed to wear fursuits.
Don't tempt me.
You're not. I forbid you. I forbid you from wearing fursuits. If you buy a fox, onesie, I'm really sad.
You don't have the authority that Ack has.
That's true.
But yeah, then I've just been watching Peaky Blinders, and that's so epic.
Yeah,
epic hats.
That show, I watched a bit of it, and I was like, oh, it's reminding me that I live in Birmingham.
It just makes Birmingham look really cool. Since I've seen the show, I actually want to go to Birmingham.
You poor man.
Oh, that's great.
Do it.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I can
will.
take you on a romantic tour of Small Heath.
Yes, we'll have to do that. We'll do that next year. Let's do that. Let's combine that with like the Nottingham thing. And we'll do like some canal traveling. I want to.
Oh yeah, Birmingham's amazing canals. Did you know we have more canals than Venice? Doesn't mean they're better than Venice. It's just...
You know what? That's the exact thing that Katie keeps telling me about Hamburg. And then the thing is, I was like, this is like a stupid stat because Venice is fucking small. No, it's not canals, it's more bridges. Hamburg has more bridges than Venice. It's no fucking wonder because Venice is like tiny.
Yeah.
But like, if you think that I'm afraid of Birmingham because it's a shithole, like because I'll think it's a shithole. I am from Duisburg. Like one day I can give you a romantic tour of the steelworks of Duisburg.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm all into steelworks.
You know what I mean. Like I had this guy who used to live. Like most of the steelworks are of course gone. It's kind of like like in Britain. Like the coal mining, I come from a coal mining area. Actually, the house I was born in, there's like tunnels. It just keeps sinking into the earth because it's all tunnels under there. But there's still some coworkers, and there's a friend of mine who was living next to a kokerei. I don't even know what that is. But basically, they had to he had like these really strong shutters. Because in the nights when they would when they make the new steel and they kind of puncture it and like the steel flows out and it's like it's open, like it's half open because it's so hot, like the whole sky would be red. Like through the whole night it would basically be red daylight and you couldn't sleep. I can remember we had a really long party at his house. And I'm like stepping out at 4:00 at night. And it's like I'm really drunk and I'm like, fuck hell, it's the apocalypse. The sky is red. And you could see everything. You could just walk home because you could see it's like daylight. Just red.
That's crazy.
Yep. I love that shit. Anyway, we wanted to do the feedback, didn't we?
Yeah, like 20 minutes ago.
Sorry.
That's fine. We have the Facebook feedback thing from Richard Marsh, friend of the show. He's saying, when are we having a GNR meetup? Let's do it. Come to Eve Manchester.
You fucker.
More seriously, there's also going to be Foss Talk Live in August, where I will be extolling the virtues of Microsoft and how great they are at open source software for the second year running, and telling everyone full of Linux nerds that they're full of shit. I'm getting heckled. Also, yeah, if you're in Birmingham on Saturday, if this gets released before then, come to a bar. What's it called? Sidewalk, and we can watch Eurovision because it's literally Christmas.
I'm not sure we'll be able to release this before Saturday with my current workload.
That's all right. It's fine. And then also Old Camp as well.
It's happening. That's happening too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is in
the south.
Canterbury, is it not?
Canterbury. Yes.
Which is cool. So come to that. That'll be a barrel of laughs. It might not be as good as eFan Fest. But...
Well, actually, I think we might have. At some point we'll get to have a meetup. What does this really mean for the listeners? But in July we're having a presenter meetup, hopefully in Dublin, and we'll get really drunk at Charles' place, and I'll send pictures.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to come, just talk to Dave. We probably can do that if you want to.
Yeah, come to Dublin. We can
to
go
Dublin in July.
Yep.
Is it in July? Or was it in June?
Oh, no, it's July.
This is admin. This is admin chat.
Yeah, we'll do that later. Sorry.
Stavrina asks, how do you find the live SmackDown house show and Breezango the best thing to happen to wrestling?
It's a question for you, I feel.
Yeah, so I think we covered the how do you find it. I thought it was pretty great.
How do you find it? It's a lot more, the live shows are a lot more panto-esque than the TV film shows.
Yeah, So there were like bits with that.
Was this actually? This was not on TV. It was just a live show.
Yeah,
Yes.
just for the audience in the room.
Cool.
But there were loads of little bits where they're like doing like ridiculous runs, like a triple tag team kind of thing, where there's like one side running away from the other side, and then they like turn around and chase him back. It's properly like
Very
he's behind
goofy.
you, really really goofy running.
And
So-
very, very sort of campy as well. They
yeah.
camp it up a lot, so it's pretty awesome.
I like that.
And there was there's one bit where there's one guy that was gonna like, jump off the turnbuckle and like onto a dude, but the dude just sort of kept slowly rolling like away, like to the other corner, and then the guy would like get down and then go to the other turnbuckle and climb up, and then he'd do this like, roll back into the middle, and it was just like so. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 times, and it was so much funnier than like the stuff that gets shown, and I thought it was like actually better, like. Because it didn't take itself so seriously, which is kind of maybe the problem a lot of people have with it. Is like, oh, it takes itself really seriously. But this clearly didn't. Like, with Breezango, the tag team people.
Less kayfabe, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. Cool.
Ben Cotton, Icarus, asks, have any of us considered getting a Nintendo Switch? I know you've fancied one, right?
I've
You're all about that.
I've considered it. I really want to play the Zelda game. I think it would be cool for Mario Kart, but it's
I want Splatoon 2.
that's not quite enough incentive to, like. I just spent like $200 on an NHL jersey, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of like super tempted, but only by Mario Kart, because like I rinsed Mario Kart 8 and I want to play it again.
Because Zelda's supposed to be really good. There's a lot of like PC gaming journalists who say it's the game of the year.
Well, I mean, they haven't been playing EVE Online, so they can they can get stuffed, Fab.
Any excuse.
My game of the year is the Elite Dangerous character creator, as you know.
But yeah, like it's just because like people have been saying like, oh, like the criticisms they had of Mario Kart 8 when they were like, oh, it's really fun in a multiplayer match because like you're all evenly skilled, but like it's not a good game by yourself. And I'm like, what? And then they're like saying things like if you're in first on the last lap, you're going to lose because you'll get blue shelled. And my response to that is get good. You clearly haven't rinsed it enough, and you're not like, you don't have like a 20-second lead on everybody.
Breaking news: people are wrong.
Yeah, so I want to play it again just to be like, yes, this is the best racing game ever made. But again, like, I probably won't because it's like expensive.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
How do you feel about that, Huey?
About the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting one regardless.
She's like, fuck you. I'm buying one.
The Wii U, and
Cool.
I just got that for. I can't remember what game I got it for, but yeah, it's just fantastic. I love it. So I'll be getting a Switch.
I will play Mario Kart on your Switch then, and I'll be happy.
All right, that's a fair deal.
You fucking peasant.
SJ Combo asks, what do you think of the new Star Wars trailer? He says he's not as hyped as he thought it'd be. Maybe too much Star Wars these days?
Haven't seen it. I'm bored by Star Wars.
Ellie's put her hand up and said yes, that there is too much Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm with Ellie. Again.
But it's gonna be good. It's good because this is Mark Hamill being Mark Hamill and saying that like the Jedi's have to end. It's like, oh, what does that mean? What implications for the like? It's good. I'm pretty hyped.
Nobody cares.
Yep. I agree.
I care.
Tell her she's right.
Fab says you're right. No. I care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a day off work again this year, and I'm.
Oh God.
I'll watch it. It'll be all right, probably.
I'm actually I'm probably reviewing the Dark Tower movie for Heiser Online, so I'll see it a few days before everyone else.
Review the Star Wars as well. Start film journalism.
No. That would be like, oh God. I could do that. I'd like the forum would burn down. I'm like, this is shit. Episode 3 was the best Star Wars movie. This is all shit. Right.
We've got one more question from Joe Poser, who should also come to Eve Manchester because he came to... Are we in the darkest timeline? Yes, definitely. With latest Trump things, latest Brexit things, all of the politics, it is the worst timeline.
I think it's just the timeline, you know.
Well, okay, so if it's the timeline, it's also the worst one.
Well, it's the timeline is always the worst one. You know, this in the grim darkness of the far future, there's only war, and it's got to start sometime. You know, we gotta get there.
Can I quote Battlestar Galactica? Can I be that guy?
Yes, please.
Yeah, all of this has happened before, and all of it will happen again.
So say we all.
That's all I'll say.
that is quite succinct. We have on Twitter, literally Nicholas, friend of the show, is sending us a picture of Dr. Oetker Rote Grütze. He's eating Rotgott Mat Vlot, or whatever that was. I talked to friends in Hamburg over the weekend who are from Flensburg, which is right next to Denmark. And I was like, I just learned what Rote Grütze was in Danish, and both of them like, oh, it's Rotgott Mat Vlot.
Nice.
So apparently,
the Danish things that scared me off last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's when Dave was running away. So Mike was reading Danish sentences that were funny. So, yeah. Then Amokleben on Twitter, another long-time friend of the show, didn't really like our last two our 35 and 36.
Yeah.
But then really,
I don't appreciate this. I don't want this criticism. Just tell me I'm good.
He really liked 37. So guess we're on the uptick again. So that's good.
It's just episodes where it's just me and Fab. So it's clearly me. That's the problem.
No, that I don't. No. I like, keep the feedback coming. Tell us when something's shit. We can take it.
Fuck yourself.
Well, it's not like we're going to change anything. Just, it's good to know, but, go fuck yourself. And then Chertal on Twitter sends us a picture of, apparently we have an army. I didn't know this. But
Are they wearing flat caps?
No, they're wearing berets. And they've got GNR everywhere. And they're nice asses, I got to say. Good, very firm asses. Yes, so I did some research. And apparently, the National Republican Guard in Portugal, Portuguese, Guarda Nacional Republicana, or something like that. So GNR, that's like the National Guard. They've got boats. They've got speed boats with GNR on it.
Sweet.
It's
We
great.
can turn up and just blag our way in. Be like, show them I'm logged in with your account. Can I have your speedboat, please?
It is amazing. They have four. If you go on Wikipedia and you look up National Republican Guard Portugal, they have a car, a patrol car. They had a number plate that starts with GNR. This is great. I think I need to get lots of pictures from a stock photo.
It's a new brand.
Yep, we'll have if somebody harasses us on Twitter or something, we'll just
Yeah, next time someone says they didn't enjoy an episode, we'll send the National Guard round.
Watch out. We've got fucking helicopters, buddy. That's cool. Yeah, and we got no email because Charles killed our email.
Just scare them away.
Which is good because I've got 3,000 unread emails in my personal account, so this is good. It's a good thing.
Are you sure they're not from GNR listeners?
I've searched for that, so lots of that's lots of that's spam actually. With marketers and shit. People who write me who don't know my for some reason they can't find my work email address, and then they write to my personal email address, and then they complain because I haven't read it in 2 months. So no. So it's good that we don't get email. Just tweet us. Which is Dave's cue.
You can contact us through various means. You can email us, but obviously don't. But if you want to do that, do it at gnr@sixgun.org. You can tweet both Fab and I. We will probably retweet you straight away at Geek News Radio. You can.
He's
tweet Fab
entering
at-
stuff while he's reading it out. It's hard.
Fab, what's your tweet? Go on. This is the cue for you to say your tweets.
My Twitter is at Fabs Foxtrot Alpha Bravo Sierra Hotel.
And I'm at Megaslippers.
And I'm at Yui Cake. That's YUE Cake.
That sounds delicious.
It
We
is.
have.
I think that every time I read your Twitter name, it's like, oh, I'd like cake now.
Yum yum.
We also have a Facebook group where I solicit people for questions. Well, thanks, lads. We've got a Steam group where nothing happens. And we've got a Discord where we chat about stuff. And I post links to stupid music videos, which is good.
Indeed.
I reminded people of the band The Rasmus this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We ended up like singing it in the kitchen at work.
Oh, no.
There was one song, and it was really good, and it made us like reminded us of happier times in like 2003 or whatever.
This explains a lot of Autodesk software to me.
Cat.
It actually makes a lot more sense using it all if you just listen.
Autodesk and fucking everything. Every game you start these days is like Autodesk stuff in it.
That will be our excellent game engine Stingray.
Yep.
Or our menu software. We do stuff that does like menus, like the suave, like swishy menus, like in Batman Arkham Asylum.
We do menus.
Yeah. Although I don't really that shit.
Cool. So, I think that's the show. It's 2 hours. So, we've done our due. Thank you for coming on, Huey.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
I'd love to have you back at some point.
I will totally come back. Yes.
Just talk more Eve or other stuff.
Yeah, we'll plug Eve more. We'll convince more people to play.
Yeah, we'll have to. We definitely have to get you on when the event's coming up.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. That would be awesome.
We could record a tiny segment at the event.
Well, if you can, yeah, if you want to, I'm always up for that. It'd be cool.
Cool.
Oh, that means you're coming, Fab, right?
Oh God, don't get me into trouble. I'm like on I'm buying too much hats and expensive NHL jerseys. I'm telling my wife, like, okay, you're getting a parcel in Chicago. I'm going to send you this, and then I'll forward her the mail. And she's like, why is this so expensive? No, I'm just, I'm not doing it. Just Katie's amazing. But like, she was like, what? It's made out of gold. And I'm like, yeah, the gold on the Pens jerseys are made from actual gold. It's a well-known fact. Actually, I had to buy a Kühnhacke jersey. He plays for the Penguins. He's the son of one of the most famous German ice hockey players ever.
There's German ice hockey players.
Yeah, there are a few.
Oh.
Not many, but they're tough as nails. I can tell you that
I
much.
bet.
Anyway, so I guess that's it for us. Play more Elite.
Hack the planet.
Do I say something?
Perfect sign off.
Praise Jesus.
What?